Ah,
exactly.
okay. My subscribers have been notified.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. It's every platform is different.
yeah, a
It's
little
strange
bit.
to use a smartphone for me because I did live streams only on YouTube, I think. Uh, okay, and now we're live. Uh,
Awesome.
let's see how many people reach us. So yeah, I think we can start with the presentations. First of all, oh yeah, we have our first viewers. Great, so fast, so fast. So hello everyone. I'm really excited because this is my first live stream on Substack, and so welcome everyone, and thank you for being my guinea pigs, and thank you for the most important guinea pigs of all at this moment, who is Philip. Hi, Philip, and thank you for trying this with me.
Always happy to try out new things with you. Happy to be here. Let's do this.
So, Philip is the founder of the Substack Mastermind I'm a part of, and so he agreed to be my first guest here, and maybe everyone already knows him here because he's one of the founders of Right Build Scale, a pretty large publication now on Substack about in the writing and content creation space. And so today we'll talk for about half an hour about productivity, mindset, and self-improvement, the habits of the creators. And we'll talk about you, Philip, and maybe about the students you helped through the years. But let's keep it short and start with uh, a couple of sentences to describe who you are and what you are doing right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me once again. Hi, everyone. I'm Philip. Those of you who don't know me, I always love to explain myself as the last person who would ever thought that they start creating written content on the internet. I always knew I'm a math guy, I'm a numbers person, and I love to build businesses. I never thought that I could really enjoy writing. I mean, I started a writing business together with my fiance Sinem when we built the Medium Writing Academy, but it was always her doing the coaching and I was always in the background. I never enjoyed long form writing or anything like that. But once I joined Substack, I really fell in love with writing notes, with creating or with turning my ideas into content quickly. So I really, really love that. And now I'm even more happy to be doing the Substack, the Right Build Scale publication, together with Sinem and Yari, a good friend and now business partners of ours. And yeah, you said it yourself. We joined Substack about 6 months ago. We invested quite a lot of time in learning about it, and now I think we just celebrated 7 months on the platform. We crossed 200 paying
And
subscribers
200
today.
paid. Yeah,
Sorry.
okay. Yeah, sorry, there was a bit of delay. And 200 paid subscribers today, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. So we're happy to see this. We're also close on reaching 5,000 total subscribers, which is the
Mm,
number one metrics for us. Yes, we care about paying subscribers, but free subscribers are even more important for us because those are the people that we can build relationships with, and we monetize our platform not
yeah.
only through Substack but also through other projects and programs that we are building together.
So you basically started writing on Substack notes. You before that, were you writing somewhere?
No, I was not really writing anywhere. I tried writing on Medium, but I quickly understood that Medium is the better writer and that I'm the kind of person that enjoys certain things of the creator business more. So I love building communities. I love creating products. I love marketing. I love sales. I love human psychology. And I try to bring those things into Substack notes. One day I might become a writer who enjoys writing long form content, but as of right now, I'm just enjoying other things more. So that's why I started a publication with Sinem and Yare, because
Yeah.
we can that way split up our experiences and what we enjoy best.
But you've had some success with on Substack notes on your own notes. I mean, not the entire publication.
Yeah, honestly speaking, I learned a lot about notes from taking a look what other people are doing and from having seen him sitting next to me when I was writing a note and giving me some feedback. I mean, I remember, Sinem just joined, hi, by the way. So I remember when I wrote one of my first notes and we were going through it and she said, okay, it's a nice idea, but let's look at this note. This word sucks, you don't need this, you don't need this. And we basically like returned a note that was like this into something like that, and we did this a couple of times. And yeah, just through reflection, I got better and better at it. And now I think I'm at a point where I can write at least decent notes that get a little bit of engagement. Yeah, she just said it in the chat. She really roasted my first notes. We even came up with a funny side hustle that we wanted to call roast my notes or something like
Yeah,
that. Where basically
absolutely.
Sinem sits down and destroys some other people's notes, or maybe not
Yeah.
destroy them, but show them how to improve on them.
No, it's a great idea because first the notes are short, so you can roast them very quickly. But it works in every creative area for videos, for songs, for beats. So yeah, it was the same thing I was thinking about. So now, what is your how much time do you spend every day creating notes?
Oh, not much, honestly speaking. I'm the kind of person who loves to establish systems in my life and follow those
Yeah.
systems over and over again. So I love to sit down once a month and create notes for the rest of the month. I also love
Hmm.
to collect ideas. So, for example, I have a huge backlog of notes from other people that resonated with me. And I can go through this backlog and adjust those notes to my own topics, to my own needs. Sometimes those notes are related to weight loss. But if you take a look at a successful note for weight loss, you can usually extract things that work and can use those for different topics. So, for example, I'm using a lot of content on weight loss, on sports, on psychology for online writing content. And that just works for me. So, on a daily
Yeah.
basis, I would say I write one or two notes maximum whenever something spontaneously hits me. Everything else that I post, I have in a backlog that I just copy and paste
Ah,
and
okay.
yeah, drop it out there whenever I need it.
Okay. So you basically follow some creators because you're interested in what they talk about, right? And how do you decide to save a note? So it's when you see that that note has gotten a lot of likes, or when it resonates with you. Do you have some criteria?
Honestly speaking, I just go through Twitter, go through my Substack feed, and I take a look and I pay close attention to what I see. For sure, I take a close look at every note that gets a lot of attention, and I
Yeah.
ask myself, why is it getting a lot of attention? Is it maybe because the algorithm was just favoring it, or does it get a lot of attention because it's just great writing or just great human psychology? And whenever I like something where I think that's something that I want to create one day for my topic, then I save it.
Yeah, so you have the topic and the audience in the back of your mind
Yeah.
while you read, basically. Yeah, yeah, it's something that always uh, happens after you've been doing this for a while. And what tools do you use to save these notes?
I use my mind. That's a simple, it's like Pinterest
Yeah.
for any kind of content. It's mymind.com. I use that. I paid for the premium plan. I think it's something like $50 a year, but it's
Mm,
paying for itself because it helps me to organize things. For
yeah.
our
And how do
Substack
you?
system, we even created a some kind of own system where you use Notion to pin it. Maybe we might switch to that in the future because there's a
Mm,
plugin called Save
yeah,
to Notion.
exactly.
That's also cool that you could use, but I think it works with. It even would work with screenshots, but I just like the idea of my mind having the possibility to categorize them and to search through the text of the notes.
Yeah, the thing that I'm not using yet, but I'm very curious about it, is using, for example, using the AI features on in any note-taking app. For example, Notion AI, because after a while, after you collected hundreds of notes, your own notes or other people notes. Maybe using AI, you can, maybe it's able to generate something very, very close to what you need.
Mm.
I didn't try it yet. I didn't have the patience, but I think it could be, when AI has a lot of examples, it can really create great results. So, do you also categorize those examples you collect?
Um, I don't collect the examples, but what I do is I collect the notes that I publish.
Hmm.
Basically, every note that I publish, I save them in my notes management system. I call it that way. It's a Notion
Yeah.
database, and there I categorize them. I have categories, for example, online business, online growth, online writing, then personal growth. Then I have something like Substack. Then I have personal stories. Yeah, I think those are my main
Okay.
categories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, up- and about writing the notes, I guess when you have when you start from a note you liked, it's the process may be faster than when you write from the top of your mind. Of in general, how much do you spend on a single note? Sometimes I'm asking this because sometimes I have an idea and I think, okay, I need to write this immediately because it will be quick, and then I
Yeah.
start reviewing it. Maybe it becomes too long, and then I have to cut it. So, how long do you spend on a note, and how do you spend that time? I mean, uh, do you need to edit it a lot, of you just go with the flow?
I mean, honestly speaking, the only time when I really spend a lot of time on notes, and with a lot of time, I mean more than 5 minutes, is when I'm
Yeah.
so stupid to start writing it on my phone. I did this a couple of times. It's just super slow. Nowadays, I just create a voice recording, or I write down the idea of the note, take a screenshot, and
Yeah.
then next time I'm on my notebook, I start writing it. Other than that, I try to get my notes done in less than 5 minutes because,
Mm.
yeah, time is valuable. We need time for other things.
Yeah.
And this only works well for me if I have like any templates or tools that I can use with.
Yeah, of course,
The
of course.
only note that I now experimenting with is I try to create a weekly summary of what happened in my life, in my business, and
Mm,
with my personal growth. But that's something that I've been doing for one of my memberships anyway. And now I'm also posting this to Substack. So that's the
okay.
only kind of note where I invest like more than 10 to 15 minutes for it.
Yeah, I think this is wise because notes are short form content, and often the algorithm is changing so quickly that you don't know what will work. And so the time you spend on one single note isn't proportionate to the chances of success, doesn't increase the chances of success. Yeah. So, yeah, so
I
five
mean,
minutes
honestly
is great.
speaking, I said it before, I don't feel like an online writer. I create notes because I want to share my message. For me personally, creating notes is has nothing to do with wanting to create something creative whatsoever. For me, goals of notes is to educate people and connect with them. So I totally get it why so many people, for example, hate AI written content, because for them, writing is an art. For me,
Yeah.
writing isn't an art. For me, I don't write notes because I want to create something beautiful. I want to create something that I'm proud of. I want to create something that helps me to connect with people that I can care about. And so, therefore, for me, it's absolutely no problem if someone is using AI for drawing, for creating whatsoever. I think you
Hmm.
really need to make a decision for yourself. Are you an artist? Then I wouldn't use tools like AI. Or are you a creator? Are you a community builder whatsoever? So in that case, I honestly speaking, I'm even in the process of training a GPT that will help me create notes. I know
Yeah.
it will never create a note that's completely perfect. It will always need a little bit of human editing. But for me, that's totally fine, because for me, it's not about the art. For me, it's about the results that I can get from those notes, from those posts, from, yeah, just connecting with other people.
This is an important lesson, I think, because if your goal is clear, you are faster, and maybe it's more probable that you get it, that you get to the goal. And sometimes we must use a tool like notes for marketing purposes.
Yeah,
But then when we start writing, the artist in our mind takes
yeah,
control, and we don't
yeah.
get our result, and we spend a lot of time. So yeah, it's a wise move.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
let me add one more thing. I mean, it would be, honestly speaking, it would be super stupid for me to try to compete with other people in online writing. Because let's be completely honest, I call myself an entrepreneur, a digital entrepreneur, community builder, whatsoever. The last thing I would call myself is an online writer. So therefore, it would not make sense for me to compete with someone who's seen him, for example, who's been writing for 7 years online, who's doing this every single day. For sure those people will
Yeah.
be able to create better results than I do. So therefore I need to use the things that I can succeed in. And yeah, in that case, I'm super happy to leverage tools, leverage AI, and yeah, make use of every opportunity that I have.
Yeah. But your situation is similar to many other people, because maybe they are selling consulting or other services, and they just need new clients and know that short form content can work for that. And so yeah, maybe they are spending most of their days working on their businesses and providing services to their clients. But yeah, um, if they have this, if they clarify their goal and um, put a strict limit on the time they spend on their notes, on their short form content in general, they they probably will get to the results faster. And so yeah, I think many people share your situation.
Mm.
Uh, for everyone in the chat, you can post your questions here if you want to ask anything to Philip. He has about 15 minutes left, so be quick with your questions, so we have time to answer them. And again, thanks everyone that's following this live, this first live.
Mhm.
Tell us how we're doing, because yeah, it's the first one. um, I know that with Cinem, you worked with many students that went through your Medium courses over the years. How many students do you think you taught?
I think we had over 1,000 students inside the Medium Writing Academy.
Yeah,
I don't
great
know the
number.
exact numbers, but some people went through the self-study version, others went through a
Yeah,
more intensive live edition.
yeah. And do you did which were the most important obstacles these people found? What stopped them from getting success?
Mhm.
I mean, I think many of them were beginners. I think, or not. They didn't have a large audience, at least. So, which were the obstacles they encountered more frequently?
I mean, there are every student situation is a little bit different, but if you take it the overall picture, it always comes down to a couple of things. First of all, if you want to succeed as an online writer, you need to be able and willing to learn. You not only need to learn the rules of the platform that you're writing on, but you also need to understand what makes really good online writing. And it's not so much about the craft or what words to use, but about understanding how humans behave. Online writing is like copywriting, it's like sales, it's all the same. It always comes down to influencing human behavior, creating something that will resonate with the other people or that leads them into a certain direction. That's one super important thing. The second thing, you need to understand that no matter if you've been super good at school at writing or if you already published 5 books whatsoever, writing on Medium, writing on Substack is different than writing outside on the internet. You just need to stick to
Hmm.
other rules. Another thing is you need to be willing to take action. We have so many students who went through the Medium Writing Academy and 6 months later told us, yeah, like they published 6 posts and they're not seeing any success. And Sinem says, yeah, I've published 6 posts in 3 days. So you need to
Okay.
do the work. You need to show up. I mean, you need to learn, you need to implement, and you need to hone your craft. You need to do it over and over again. Don't expect anything before you've tried something 50 or 100 times, no matter if it's Medium, if it's Substack, or if it's any other platform. So, for
Yeah, or
example,
YouTube. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So when we joined Substack, I said for myself, I created this little piece of paper and I said, like, I'm going to publish 200 notes and I'm going to leave 1,000 meaningful comments on other people before I take a look at my stats or anything. I said to myself,
Mm.
I create 200 notes and then I'm at the level where I can reflect on it, where I can really see what's working, what isn't. But before that, it's just training, it's just warm up. And a lot of people buy a course and think, okay, now I bought the course, I watched it, and now I'm suddenly instantly successful. That's not how it's going to work. You need to put in the work and you need to implement the things.
What do you think? Why do you think so many people don't take the first step, or at least don't take enough first steps, so they lose steam very quickly, for example?
It's a mindset problem. It's super simple. People are used to taking the easy path. If you take a look at, for example, a building with an elevator, even if someone's living in the second floor, 90% of the people will take the elevator to the second floor. They are not willing to walk up 2 levels of stairs because they are comfortable. And yeah, but that's one example. The same thing is true for sports. The same thing is true for running a business. You
Yeah,
first need to be uncomfortable before you can come to a place where you're comfortable. You need to put in the work, otherwise you will not see the results. And I think that's totally fine. And I actually love this because that way the people that achieved success because they put in the work once are kind of protected, because you can only take something away from someone if you're willing to do what they are doing or to do even more than that. Honestly
yeah.
speaking, everyone would love to play as good football as Cristiano Ronaldo. But honestly speaking, no one's showing up 30 minutes before the training starts to practice 50 free kicks or something like that.
Did you ever see someone who was very struggling to take the first step, and then finally changed? And can you say what made them change? What made them change their mindset, basically?
I cannot speak for other people. I can speak for myself. I mean, I was
Ah,
also lazy long time in my life. But honestly speaking, for me, the moment everything changed was when I figured out how I want to live my life. I said for myself, I want to have 3 things in my life. My 3 core values, they are the most important thing to me. They are freedom, love, and ownership. I want to be free by doing what I want with whoever I want. I want to feel love in my life, not only meaning being loved by someone, but by doing things that I love. I don't want to work
okay.
9 to 5 for someone. I want to have something that I can build, that I can care about. And I rather work 80 hours for my own business than 40 hours for someone else's business. And the last thing is I decided I want to have ownership. I want to be the person that if I fuck up, I want to be able to say, okay, I failed. It's my problem. It's 100% my fault. I'm not trying to look for someone else who I can blame. But also on the other hand, if I make it, I want to be proud and want to be able to say, yes, I'm self-made. I built this myself. Those are the 3 things
Yeah,
that are most important to me. Once I figured them out, every other decision was easy.
yeah. I don't. I can't say every other decision was easy for me, but uh, the turning point for me was my failed PhD, in the sense that I got my PhD, but the experience was so terrible. I really dreamed of becoming a researcher and writing papers and teaching at the university, but the experience was so bad. The people, the work I had to do, commuting to my office, I hated it, and that, yeah, that pushed me to look outside, and then I finally found the 4 hour work week and
Yeah.
became a blogger. Before we end, there was a question by another Philip Ilani, one of my subscribers, and he asks if you do batch notes creation, which you said yes, you already replied, but he asks, what do you recommend? So maybe walk us through a session of batch notes creation.
First of all, get rid of, do the basics. Get rid of everything that can distract you. Turn off your smartphone. Make sure you don't get any distraction. Second way of how I create batch is the following. I take a look at all the templates that I've talked before that I like. I take a look at a template and then I think, how can I turn this template into something that's relating to me? Um, and then I create the first node, but then I use the same template and I create a second node about the second topic that I write about. So, for example, if
Mm,
we have a super simple template, let's say these are the 5 books. If I find a template, these are the 5 books on weight loss.
yeah.
Then I take a look at this and I create one for these are the 5 best books for personal growth. Then I create one for online writing, then for community building. Basically, I have one template and I create notes for every content bucket that I have. That makes it much easier.
Okay.
I mean, the tricky thing is you need to create a lot of content that way, because if I post a template today and tomorrow the same thing but with just another topic, people think like, yeah, that's stupid. But if I spread it
Yeah.
out by like 3, 4 days or a week at least, people have no chance of remembering that because they're seeing so many
Absolutely.
things. And that's one thing that I do, and that makes my work a lot easier.
Yeah. And how long does it take to create for 1 month, or I don't know? How many notes do you create in a single session, in a single sitting?
I haven't tracked. I check it next time and I'll let you know. But I think I can
Okay.
create a note in 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how long it is.
So,
Totally even
yeah.
faster, yeah.
Great, great. So thank you for the answer. Then Philip asked about the software stack, but you already shared it before. It was my mind basically, and Notion
Yeah.
for saving things. Yeah,
And
and you're right in
ChatGPT for outsourcing thinking.
yeah, and you and do you have a favorite prompt on in Chat GPT?
Um, do I have a favorite prompt? That's a cool question. Let me quickly think. Um, One thing that I love to do is when I prepare for the White Build Scale coaching sessions and I get a question from a student, I use the prompt, then I post my notes below, and then I ask it, what did I miss? I think this
Hmm.
what did I miss part is a super cool prompt. You can use this in very, very different fields, but it really helps me to get an understanding of what the tool wants to add or thinks that I could have done better in terms of providing answers to it. Or sometimes I ask ChatGPT something like, I mean, it's not a prompt, but it's like a piece of a prompt. Where, for example, instead of asking it what are 5 advices to grow on Substack, I would love to ask it what are 5 completely out of the box approaches, because then it
Yeah,
comes up with something completely crazy. And sometimes by seeing what the tool thinks is crazy, combining with your own experience, the intersection sometimes
yeah.
can be a cool idea.
Yeah, this is wise because ChatGPT is statistical. So if you don't force it out of the box, it always says the average, and it
Yeah.
gives you the average version of anything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to ask it for something outrageous and then choose the right thing. Okay, so we are nearing the end of the call, and again, thank you so much, and you are getting also a lot of love in the chat.
I think the love
Before
is for both of us. Thank you so much for hosting.
thank you. Before we close, you can talk about the next webinar you are
Ah,
organizing.
yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, we are on Substack now for 7 months. We tried a lot of things, and together with Sinem and Yari, we built a brand new Substack product. It's called Substack System, and we're launching it for the first time next Thursday. And in order to launch that, we're also hosting a free masterclass because we know that not everyone's interested in paid products, but we want to give back to the community. So Sinem's taking 90 minutes of her time to host a Substack masterclass where she basically talks about everything that we did on the platform in the first 6 months, especially with a focus on the first 2 months where we set up all our systems, where we created all our processes, everything we did to become a Substack bestseller within 2 months. And those that are interested in working closer with us will then also have the opportunity to be one of the first people to join the Substack System program.
Yeah, thank you. I already shared the link for the
Mm,
masterclass with my subscribers. I think only through email, not in an article. So um, yeah, I will be sharing it again. So anyone who wants to join, we can join
oh,
from my link. So we are exactly at the 30 minutes mark. I think it's very productive if you stop for now, in line with my publication. And yeah, thanks again, and good luck with the launch of the
yeah.
new product.
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone who showed up live. Thanks for the questions. And yeah, thank you, Alberto. I think you did amazing. Congratulations on your first live. And yeah, if you ever want to do this session again, yeah, just be in touch. I'm happy to join you anytime. I really enjoyed speaking with you. Thanks everyone. Talk soon. See you guys.
See you. Bye. Bye.